Y es que te quiero escapar.
You knew this would happen?
Everything changed.
Es William Mann de Missouri.
Bueno, esto empieza con buen pie. ¡Au! ¡Au!
I always had that in myself. Nature for me was always very important. Even when I was a kid, I always loved animals. So I always I remember, I lived in many parts of Brazil and in the countryside. So I was very in tune, I was always connected to nature. So I always look around for birds. And I had a bird in a cage. And I raised that bird since the bird was a little chick. So, and I had a very good care of that bird and I loved it. But after a while, I felt so sad for it to be in a cage that I decided to set the bird free. And since then, I could never had a bird again in a cage. I always decided to go out and photograph them, take pictures, and go out and look at them in the wild. And that's where the passion began. So when I had the idea of making RIO, I wanted to make with birds because I love birds. And I think their colors, the music that comes out of their mouths, their beaks, in a way, is always something that inspired me. And so I started to take more pictures. So it became a project of myself to photograph birds in the wild, and allowed me to get inspiration to create the movie like RIO.
No somos aves. Tenemos que ir a la selva y vivir como aves, Blue. Que los niños conozcan sus raíces. Ya verás que bien lo pasamos. Sí.
So I found that it was important to share that in a movie. And I combine the two things. I have a family message and I have an environmental message. But I do it in a fun way. Like I didn't want a movie to be like dark or a movie to be like, sad. I want a movie to be a positive message. Something that you have fun doing it, watching it. And when you leave the theater, you have that in your mind. And if you start little, I think the future will be much better.
¿Quién eres tú? ¿De dónde has salido?
¡Atrás! ¡Papá!
¿Papá? ¡Enteraos! ¡Soy abuelo!
With RIO 1, I really worked on the RIO. It's very RIO-centric. The name came with that because I wanted to show the city. I wanted them to see Carnaval, I wanted to show samba. So the characters live in the environment that's very, I would say, carioca, very much from RIO. So for the second one, I decided that I have more freedom now because people already know the first one. So now I can explore Brazil. I can explore other rhythms. And I can explore the Amazon. And allowed me to bring rhythms from other states and other cultures within Brazil. Like rhythms from the Amazon, like carimbó, maracatu, the rhythms from Salvador, Bahia. So I could bring everything in a more exciting, different way. And also, it's more birds, so they find family and they find other birds in the jungle. So I wanted to be a forest carnival. I wanted to carry that big vibe of music from Brazil, but from different regions.
¡Hay que darle marcha a esta selva! ¡Vamos a petarla en el Amazonas!
Well, we'll see. The same thing happened with the Ice Age. We didn't know what would happen with the movie, so we did the first one, and then with the success of the first one, we did the second, and then we did the third, and we did the fourth. So we just keep going. With RIO, there's always ideas. In my head is always full of ideas. And once you create characters that are so loved, and characters that have a history, it's like our life. There's always a new story to tell every day of your life. And I think that I can continue telling the stories of these characters if people are wanting to hear them. So in the case of RIO 2, came out of the wish of people continue to know what happened to the birds. And now, if it happens again, I will continue telling fun stories about them.
Seguid celebrándolo. Voy a aguar vuestra fiesta ipso facto. Solo sale bien cuando lo hago yo. RIO 2.
Y es que te quiero escapar.
You knew this would happen?
Everything changed.
Es William Mann de Missouri.